When my stepson was an artist, I became his muse by posing for him. People have recognized my beauty all my life. I never tried to take advantage of it for myself. When I was younger, I dreamed of being a model, but that dream faded when Richard came into my life. He mentioned that they don't need the funds, so he prefers you not to move forward with it. His decision became mine. At 42, I live with the man who changed my life, sharing a home with his child from a previous marriage. Ethan, 23, just finished his university studies in photography and visual arts. He's back home now. His space is on the top level of the duplex. It's his creative sanctuary. He crafts portraits about women and men, anyone really. Young girls often come and go, striking poses for his art. At first, I thought it was just about his passion for art. Everything changed the day I accidentally left his door open. Who would have thought that a simple portrait sketch could lead to all of this? I'll share how that one night with Ethan turned into something much bigger than just helping him. I know you might judge me for this, but I can't keep it hidden any longer. That morning, Richard left the house. I climbed the stairs and Ethan's door was ajar. I never meant to step inside. I caught a glimpse of the canvas inside as I walked by. What I saw stopped me in my tracks. It was me. What concerned me even more was the large photograph stuck to the wall next to me. I had posted a photograph on social media years ago. Every line on my face, the depth of my gaze, and the emotions I felt at that moment were captured in his art. I didn't realize Ethan was watching me so closely. When I discovered he had downloaded my photograph and printed it to create this portrait, I should have felt fear, right? But it didn't. I stood still at the doorway for a moment. My heart raced with excitement, and an incredible feeling washed over me. The way I was portrayed in that painting was unique, stronger, even more captivating. Ethan portrayed me as more impressive than I saw myself. My hands shook as I touched the edge of the doorframe. I had to leave. I couldn't stay any longer. I turned quietly and went down the stairs. I walked to the kitchen, but my heart was still racing. The image of that painting stayed with me. I thought it would just be another piece of art. I was wrong. I never expected that moment to actually happen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories like this. I'm sure that after you hear this story completely, you'll want to share your thoughts. Since Ethan came back home, there's been an undeniable spark between us, a mysterious occurrence. At first, everything seemed normal, even reassuring. I noticed Ethan pulling away little by little. He started spending more time upstairs, locked in his room, working for long stretches. His door was usually locked, but the other day, it was accidentally left open for a moment. That moment is forever etched in my mind. He portrayed me. He took one of my photos from social media and turned it into a canvas painting. Every brushstroke revealed a part of who I am. He wasn't just putting paint on my face. He was bringing my soul to life. Seeing that painting sparked a feeling inside me. I couldn't express anything to Ethan about the situation. The next day, loud sounds from upstairs caught my ear. A girl was shouting, her voice sharp and filled with anger. Before I could grasp what was happening, the door to Ethan's room flew open and the girl rushed out. Her face burned with anger, tears streaming down her cheeks as she hurried past me in the hallway. My heart raced. Should I go up the stairs? I hesitated, torn between staying out of it and uncovering what happened. In the end, I couldn't hold back. I reached Ethan's door. I tapped softly. "Ethan?" I spoke, my voice wavering. I heard a sigh coming from inside. "Come in," he said, his voice tired and vulnerable. I opened the door and stepped inside. He stood in the middle of the room, staring at a canvas. The artwork was left unfinished. The colors and details were stunning, but the overall composition felt incomplete. "What's happening?" I asked, trying to hide my nervousness. Ethan lowered his head and slowly turned to face me. His eyes showed a deep sense of helplessness. He commented on that portrait, his voice tinged with a hint of resignation. "I landed a contract for a major project. The client asked for a portrait of a confident, strong, and beautiful woman. They offered a significant amount of money. Yet, it goes beyond just financial matters, Lena. This defines my reputation. This initiative could really boost my career. While I was working on that girl's portrait, I realized it wasn't going to turn out well. He wouldn't have liked it. I would have let him down. His voice shook. What's next? I need to submit something new by tomorrow. It's crucial. When I heard his words, my heart started to race. His eyes locked onto mine, silently pleading. I reflected on the artwork I had seen recently and how Ethan was looking at me now. Ethan, what do you need from me? I spoke, my voice shaking. He swallowed hard and took a deep breath. Lena, I want to capture your essence. You represent strength, grace, and beauty. I hesitated for a moment, unsure of what to say. Is that right? I whispered, my voice barely audible. Ethan came closer, his eyes filled with determination and respect. Lena, you might not realize it, but it's you. Your beauty, grace, and power are all within you. I need your help to finish this. I need your help because I'm short on time. If you agree, we can move forward together quietly. Part of me strongly insisted that I should refuse right away. Ethan's comments also caught attention in another way. His gaze radiated warmth, and his tone was filled with sincerity. I couldn't stop thinking about the painting I saw, how he saw me and the feelings it stirred in me. Ethan, are you sure? I asked, locking eyes with him. He spoke with strong certainty, his voice calm but resolute. This isn't just a painting, Lena. It's going to change everything. A break happened. My heart raced. I was thinking about whether my actions were right when I noticed the garment Ethan was holding. The dress was a sleek black silk that hugged the body perfectly. It revealed the shoulders and flowed elegantly to show just the right amount of leg. That's a bit much, I said with a nervous laugh. Ethan took another step forward, his eyes steady and inviting. It will look flawless on you. I just want to see you at your best. Trust me, Lena. I took a deep breath. Ethan's heartfelt words slowly melted away my hesitation. I tilted my head a bit, moving forward with the task. Ethan smiled. That genuine, friendly smile eased all my worries. At that moment, we began to eagerly await the arrival of darkness. I could tell right away that this would go beyond just art. This evening felt like it could change everything for us both. When Richard came back home, I made sure everything looked normal. I stayed quiet at dinner, while Ethan acted like everything was normal. Whenever our eyes met, even for a moment, the unspoken tension between us filled the air. Once I saw that Richard was fast asleep, I took a deep breath. I climbed the stairs to Ethan's room, my heart pounding with excitement. I slowly opened the door. The room glowed with a soft, inviting light. Candles lit up every corner, filling the space with a cozy warmth. Soft music played in the background, creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Ethan leaned against the wall, clutching a bottle of wine. He raised his drink towards me. He welcomed with a calm voice that radiated warmth. I observed the setup in the room. It was brilliantly designed. He noted with a slight smile that this evening is important. Everything needs to be perfect for you. I struggled to swallow, but a small smile crept onto my lips. Instead of questioning my actions, I decided to fully embrace the moment. Ethan pointed to the corner of the room. I've set up a place for you to get ready, and your dress is right over there. I agreed and moved to the corner. I noticed, out of the corner of my eye, that Ethan had turned away from me. That small act eased my anxiety a bit. I put on the dress and looked at my reflection in the mirror. The black silk hugged my figure perfectly. My shoulders were bare, and the neckline beautifully highlighted my collarbone. Ethan, I'm ready, I said, but my voice came out as a mere whisper. He turned, locking his eyes on me. They showed admiration, not for art, but more like the way a man admires a woman. Great, he spoke clearly, raising his glass again. Can you sit in that chair? I walked over to the chair he pointed out. It was elegant and evoked the past, adding a delightful touch to the atmosphere. As I sat down, a mix of excitement and nerves washed over me. Ethan poured a glass of wine and handed it to me. Take some time to relax tonight. The wine will help. I took a sip, our eyes meeting again. I should hold back on drinking too much, or I might get too relaxed, I said with a soft smile. Ethan laughed as he scooted his chair closer to the easel. You deserve this. This evening is all about you. Your presence will complete this scene. The room was filled with silence for a time. The tension was thick as Ethan's eyes darted between me and the canvas, his brush moving with intent. I realized I should have looked away, but I just couldn't. I took a sip of my wine and gazed at him. "Isn't it tough to work like this?" I asked, mixing concern with friendliness. "Challenging?" he said with a small laugh. "On the flip side, this moment is the most genuine experience I've ever had." He paused briefly, lowering his brush and looking straight into my eyes. "Lena, do you know? It goes beyond just looks. I've never met anyone who combines grace and strength so perfectly." His words left me stunned. "Ethan, you're overdoing it," I said. As I spoke, I felt the deep impact of my words. He claimed he wasn't overstating things. He kept his eyes locked on me. "I feel truly lucky to celebrate this moment with someone as remarkable as you. Bringing your image to life is more than just work for me. It's a way to understand you better." The tension in the room was almost tangible. He picked up his brush again, though not as quickly as before. He kept glancing from the canvas to me. "The evening is just beginning," he said with a slight smile. "Once this artwork is finished, everything will change forever." I took another sip of my wine and finally understood what he meant. This evening went beyond just taking portraits. This night was meant to change us forever. As I sat in the chair, time slipped away from me. Ethan faced the canvas, each brushstroke capturing a piece of his soul. Sometimes he would stop and glance at me. In his gaze, I saw something deeper than just artistic admiration. It was a man's pride. Sipping the wine, I felt myself relax more and more. Ethan took a break every 30 minutes. In the first break, we just shared a few words. His gaze examined me closely, but he held back, respecting a line he wouldn't cross. By the second intermission, that difference started to blur. I couldn't tell if it was the wine or the tension in the air between us. When he came closer and gently took my hand, I felt frozen in place. "Lena, you look stunning." He spoke softly and kindly. I stayed still for a moment, letting the feeling of his fingers on mine sink in. It was in the third intermission that the line between us almost disappeared. Ethan reached out, gently moving a strand of hair that had slipped over my shoulder. My breath caught for a moment. "Lena," he said, locking his eyes onto mine. "This painting might not fully reflect your greatness, but I will strive to make it happen." Each moment of contact and every word brought us closer together. We stayed on the edge without crossing the line. 3 hours passed by the end of the night. Ethan finished his final brushstroke and leaned back, letting out a deep breath as he set it down. "It's done," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. "Are you ready?" I stood up, finishing the last sip of my wine. I was a bit drunk, but my mind was clear. I walked up to him, my heart racing. The painting took my breath away. I said, captivated by the artwork before me, "This is impressive, Ethan." The figure in the picture was me. Ethan had not just limited me in body. He had grasped a deeper meaning. The feelings in my eyes, the grace of my stance, and the strength I didn't know I had. The canvas held it all. Ethan turned to face me. "Lena, you are truly exceptional. This goes beyond just showing who you are. You are beauty, strength, and everything that makes you who you are." I couldn't control my emotions at that time. I walked up to him and wrapped my arms around his neck. "Thank you," I said, my voice shaking. The hug started off innocent. When Ethan wrapped his arms around my waist and leaned closer, something changed inside me. All barriers between us seemed to disappear. Our eyes met, and the soft candlelight cast a surreal warmth across the room. I started talking to Ethan, yet the words faded away. In that instant, I realized his lips were just a breath away from mine, and it felt like there was no going back. He came up to me and called me Lena. His eyes locked onto mine, his voice powerful and full of feeling. "I need to share something important with you. I can't hold it in any longer." He paused for a moment, taking a deep breath. "I care for you deeply, and it's more than just a passing crush. I felt this way about you for a long time. I've tried to hide it, but I just can't." His words filled the room, washing over me like a wave of warmth. My heart pounded, my mind spun. "Ethan, we've got this," I whispered. In that moment, I gained a new understanding. I couldn't deny my attraction to him any longer. Ethan pushed ahead. We were just a breath away. His hands gently found their way to my waist. From the beginning, I admired your strength. Lena, you need to understand that. As he finished speaking, he leaned in closer, and our eyes held a gaze longer than expected. I caught my breath for a moment. His lips were warm, and his hands melted away all the barriers between us. After the kiss, he looked into my eyes for a moment. Yet that gaze held no questions. It was a reaction. At that moment, backing down was not an option. I gently adjusted the dress, feeling the weight of the moment settle over me. The silk brushed against my skin as I stepped into the dress, the candlelight painting soft shadows around me. I noticed the admiration in Ethan's eyes grow stronger. He stayed quiet. Talking wasn't needed at that moment. His hands gently wrapped around my waist, pulling me closer to the spacious couch. That evening, everything changed. Our connection, that intimacy, was undeniable. I lay back on the couch, my heart pounding and my breath uneven. Ethan gave a quiet smile, stepping away for a moment as I focused on the painting ahead of us. All barriers between us are gone. He leaned in, his hands gently resting on my waist. His voice dropped to a soft whisper, and the closeness between us made my breath catch. The shiver came from more than just his touch. It started with a deep feeling I hadn't felt in a long time, stirring inside me. His lips moved slowly from my neck to my shoulder, sparking a new kind of passion inside me. My hands quickly found his back. I felt the tension in his muscles and the warmth radiating from him. Ethan's breath warmed my skin, and with every touch, he pulled me closer. "Lena," he whispered, his voice soft and full of feeling, "you exceed my wildest dreams of beauty." As a result, everything sped up. I saw the truth in his words as I looked at him. His strong actions shifted my focus away from emotions to a whole new experience. A wild, unstoppable joy. His lips met mine again, this time with more passion and depth. My fingers clenched gently, caught between nerves and anticipation as silence filled the room. I held onto the couch, covered tightly with my other hand. I tried to stay quiet. I tried to open my eyes, but my body took over. My muscles tightened, and with every touch, it felt like jolts of electricity coursed through me. He stepped closer, his gaze lingering as if searching for something beyond words, sending a warmth that filled my body. I surrendered to the emotion in the air, overwhelmed by the intensity of it all. He towered over me, his eyes filled with a mix of surprise and intense desire. His breathing quickened, and his speech showed an involuntary shake. "Is this really happening?" he asked softly, his voice barely audible. I tried to open my eyes, but my body took over. I stared at the ceiling, gripping the blanket tighter and tighter. Ethan leaned in, his face just inches from mine. His lips brushed against my ear as he spoke. "Lena, you inspire my emotions. I never saw you like this, though." He breathed in a shallow and uneven manner. "You are the most genuine of all." He kept going. I was trembling, worried I might completely lose my cool. Ethan finally let go of his control. This was real. I had been unknowingly waiting for this reality. For a long time. Let me share this. This story isn't over yet. Stay focused. If you've made it this far, I know my story has truly impacted you. There's so much more to share, and you won't want to miss a single detail. Don't forget to hit the follow button, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts about this story.